Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like, why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You got to be intentional and deliberate. You got to decide that you're going to do something and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was going to do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I got to get up and make it happen, even though I don't want to get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's given blood, who's given tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
The harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm here today. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft. I had burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. Sharing in my books and speaking is my oxygen, is my DNA. 4 in the morning I get up and I'm working on my craft because I love it. I love it.
When you love something and you're devoted to it, discipline is easy, am I right? So bring that love and devotion to what you do. It will drive your discipline. No one has to tell Tom Brady to go work out. He has a love and devotion to getting better. And your love and devotion will drive your discipline.
That means you have to show up every day. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to be willing to do it when you're tired, when you're hurt, when it's not cool. And you've got to be willing to do that way longer than anybody else is willing to do it.
I had to start looking at my life differently. I started going to work earlier. I started being the last one to leave there. I started working harder than anybody else. The other guys could not. Why would you work so hard, Les? I don't understand. You don't have to. I deserve better than this. This is something I have got to do because I've made a different kind of commitment with my life. My life deserves my developing this what I do well. and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of giving more than what you're paid for.
There are no shortcuts to greatness. To be great, you gotta be all in. To be great, you gotta get 120. To be great, you gotta put forth effort every single time, every single down. To be great, there are no days off. All men are created equal. Some just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't surrender. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level.
Elite achievers will perform and succeed and win and dominate no matter what.
We all live life. Some of us, we get more out of it. You might have to work a little harder. You might have to start at the bottom, but I'm telling you, you can have whatever you like. You just gotta work a little harder. You just gotta press a little deeper.
When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information.
Good intentions have kept people broke. Good intentions have stopped people from reaching their goals. Good intentions won't cut it. No more good intentions. No more only execution. No more I meant to. No more I should have. No more I wanted to. No more execution. Get out. Act like you playing basketball. Act like you playing football. Go in that doggone classroom. Compete. Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. Compete. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it.
Successful people love the experience of not feeling like doing but then going and kicking anyway. They understand that those are the real victories in life. They understand that it's easy to do when you feel like doing, but they also understand that the real glory is earned when your heart is not into something, but your mind tells you, I'm gonna do this anyway, and does it. That's where people separate themselves from the pack. That's where people earn the right to success. They earn the money. They earn the life. They earn the relationship. They earn the body in those little moments where they don't want to do what they need to do, but move forward regardless of how they feel. That's what champions know, champions understand, and champions thrive on.
Everyone climbs a mountain, and right when they're like, I can't go anymore, that last inch is gonna make all the difference. And they give up. It's because one, they had a bad plan of action, but two, they've lost the motivation. They're not seeing the visual representation of their effort being put out, so therefore they're like, I'm done.
You are going to come up against some moments in your life. I've been there. You're going to come up with some moments in your life. Somebody told you it was over. Somebody told you that just go home and die. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. They sent you home, law school. They sent you home. Some wife, she told you, that's it. I don't want to be married to you. Some husband, he told you, I don't want to be married to you. And he left. Never give up. I need mental toughness. It's no reason to cry. It's a reason to build. It's a reason to get stronger. It's a reason to get more intense. It's a reason to get better. You need one more thing, one more check, one more something to put yourself in a position where you get higher. I don't care if it's fair or not. It's what you got to do. You can get through this because you bigger than this. You better than this. You tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're going to be better. You're going to be bigger. You're going to be bolder.
You guys are saying you're doing everything right. You're giving your all. Come on. Your all is a lot more than you know. You got more inside of you to give. Stop selling yourself.
We've come too far to quit now. When you're in the darkest place, when you feel like all is lost, when you think there's no way to turn it around, remember this. Victory is near.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day, and it hurts, and it's hard, and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform. I'm telling somebody right now, your lowest moment, the place where you were that broken, will be the place of your greatest testimony.
I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally real. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. And your problem is you're giving up too easy. We've come too far. We've been through too much. We've seen too much. We've had too many victories. We have seen defeat. We've looked defeat in the face and we've overcome it. We've come too far to be negative now. We've come too far to start overthinking now.
Once we hit that wall, we don't quit, we don't give up. We push a switch called will, and we start using our willpower. Yes, we tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet. This is not what I dreamed about. This is not what I said I was going to do. This is not what it looks like.
Mentally, you must be there before you physically even start. It's a mindset. That dream and success, I'm gonna meet, I'm gonna create. All I have to do is sweat for it, work for it, study for it, drive for it, believe in it. Never take no for an answer, and never give up. When the winds of life don't hit your sail, you grab oars of life. And you start pushing your body, your boat, your vessel into the harbor of a known point that you want to be. Those don't get you there. You gotta get yourself there, guys.
When you leave the crowd, you start to dream and express your best of the world. You will be different, and people don't like it if you're different.
Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser.
They will try to tear you down, and they will try to mock you.
When you get to that point of frustration, of anger, that is tremendous fuel for you to go out and do that you want to do. Your goal should be to become so successful in whatever it is that you're trying to do that all the people who said that to you, those look at the floor.
One person with a belief overrides thousands of people with just intent.
The people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do. In order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
The spirit of resiliency, the spirit of grit, it's in your DNA, it's in your blood. Overcoming is in your blood. Getting through adversity is in your blood. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. This is what you do. You are built for this.
While you're taking time off, relaxing, chilling out, someone you're up against might be getting ahead of you. They might be putting in more reps, more work, more effort. And while you're lounging, they're grinding, sharpening their skills and getting that edge. Every minute you spend relaxing, they're using to become stronger, faster, smarter. The race doesn't pause because you decide to take a break. Your competition is relentless, and so must you be.
Every single day of your life, you have a chance to get further ahead of those people you're competing with. You have a chance to push yourself to do better. Outperform yourself in anyone you gotta go up against. Every day is a new opportunity, a fresh battlefield where you can prove your capabilities. It's not just about beating the others. It's about conquering your own limits and setting new records for yourself.
You need to work harder. You need to study harder. You need to grind more. You don't become number one by taking days off. You don't become number one by chilling on the weekends or holidays. You become number one by doing what all the other people aren't willing to. It's about the extra mile, the additional hour, the second workout. It's about that relentless pursuit of excellence that never settles for good enough.
And that takes disciplining yourself to do all that you don't want to do, but know you need to. You gotta get yourself up when you're feeling tired and feeling weak and get yourself moving forward toward the mission at hand. It's about conquering the inner laziness, the voice that begs for just one more hour of sleep, one more episode, one more moment of ease. That's the voice of mediocrity, and you gotta crush it under your determination.
The universe doesn't give a that it's the holidays, that it's New Year's Eve, that it's the weekend. Time will keep moving, and the world will keep moving. So that means you gotta keep moving too. You don't have time to stop. You don't have time to slack off. Time is the one resource you can't get back. And every second you waste is a second loss from your journey to greatness. The clock is ticking, and it's ruthless.
Success isn't gonna wait for you. You gotta chase it down. If you're stopping and starting constantly, you won't ever catch it. You gotta be consistent. You gotta never let your foot off the gas. Never stop, never quit. It's about that relentless pursuit, that unwavering focus, that unstoppable drive that separates the legends from the masses.
All the average people in the world are gonna think you're crazy. They're gonna call you a psycho and not understand why you're working so hard. They won't get it, and they don't have to get it. The only one who needs to know why you're putting in this work is you. Let them talk, let them wonder, let them doubt. You're not here to make sense to them. You're here to make miracles for yourself.
So when your competitors are sleeping, you're working. When they're out having a good time, you're working. Because when you do this, while they're dreaming about how great it'd be to be number one, you'll be living it. Your dedication is what turns dreams into reality.
You gotta have the strength of character to read, to digest information, to work on yourself, to work on your craft, on your abilities, on your ideas consistently, without letting yourself slide into complacency, holding a higher standard than anyone else is willing to, doing things to the very best of your ability. It's about that relentless self-improvement, the constant striving for knowledge and mastery that sets you apart.
You have no idea how great you could become if you tried your hardest. You could become 10 times, 20 times better than you are right now. Your potential is unlimited when you're willing to do whatever it takes. Imagine the heights you could reach if you pushed yourself to your absolute limits.
The only thing standing between you and your utmost potential is the amount of work you're willing to put in. So you gotta go all in and witness the transformation of yourself.
You may not have that natural talent or a gift for creativity or intellect. You might not have any of those things. But what you lack in those things, you can make up with effort. You can decide that you will outwork everyone.
When you need to do 45 minutes on the treadmill, you do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, you make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, you work 9. Whatever it is, you always do one more.
And what that does is it makes you eventually think you're doing things other people aren't willing to do, so you should get things other people aren't gonna get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given or where you started or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul, how hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
But you gotta understand, kinda is lethal. There's so many kinda people. Most people kinda want a career change. They kinda want to get straight A's. They kinda want to get in shape. But if you only kinda want something, then you're only gonna kinda get the results you want. You can't just kinda want that thing. You gotta want it with every part of your being.
Will you struggle? Yeah, you're gonna struggle. There's no way around it. You're gonna fall so many times, but who's counting?
If you want to make it to the top of your field, top of your class, top of your industry, then there's going to be sharp ridges that must be stepped over. There's going to be times you get stressed and things you get depressed over. But let me tell you something, struggle and criticisms are prerequisites for greatness.
That is the law of this universe, and no one escapes it because pain is life. But you can choose what type, either the pain on the road to success or the pain of being haunted with regret.
If you want to win at anything in life, there's one battle you got to win first. The battle inside your mind. Real struggle ain't external shit that's all around you. It ain't the test you got to pass, the race you got to win, the weight you got to lift, the business you got to start, or the bills you got to pay. The real battle is in your mind. Your mind is a battleground, and the real enemy is after one thing, your mind. It's out to worry you, stress you out, break you down. It's out to make you quit. It's out to make you think you can't get up, make you give up on your dreams. The fight you got to win is in your mind. Get to work. Every day start training your mind to believe that you can do anything you want to do and be anyone you want to be. Stay focused, stay motivated, but most importantly, stay strong. If the enemy within is in check, then the enemy outside can do you no harm.
If you want to live your best life, you gotta do me a huge favor. You gotta watch them choices you make. People make bad choices. They wake up and make another bad choice. They make another bad choice. Now they got a habit of bad choices, right? And they like, how did I get here? Choices. You trying to get to certain places, but you ain't making the choices that's gonna get you there. You all in your feelings. No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. My determination wakes me up. My ability to be, do, and have whatever I want, it wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? You gotta begin with the end in mind. So whatever your dream or your goal is, you gotta wake up every day to it. You gotta go to bed with it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? You gotta read stuff. The music you listen to, everything you do, gotta pour into that dream. I didn't get to where I am. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I personally know what it takes. One day I made a decision that enough is enough. I'm tired of being average. I'm tired. I'm tired of being good. I'm tired. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. If you're a student in school, try harder, study harder, and focus more. You got this. That athlete that's out there, and you're not training how you're supposed to. Go 10, 15 minutes harder. Bob, 10 more reps. You have to work when no one's watching. You have to train like there is no tomorrow. Day after day after day. You can improve just a little bit every day. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be at. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. You only transition from one level to the next when you're tired of the level you on. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get you up and get to where you're supposed to be. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. You gotta keep every single day of my life. I feel like giving 120. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta pick your grind up. And I need you to wake up every single day. And I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're gonna do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together, and just to find out that the things are never gonna stop coming at you. That finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything.
And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's going to give you. If you want to win, you got to show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not staying long enough to make something happen. You're not there long enough. You're not studying long enough. You didn't read a whole book and got what? I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once. You can't get enough from reading 100 pages one time. I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times, and I mean consume it in your life right now. The reason why you're not successful, you're all over the place. You just taking the axe and just swinging it, and you wonder why you're not getting the results you want. Because what real students do is sharpen the axe first, and then they don't just hit the tree 1,000 times. They hit the tree 1,000 times where? In the same spot. You hitting it all over the place. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about your thinking. I need you to think about what you're thinking about. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
Stay focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button, or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you are afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that scares you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you won, because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged. I know most people would get distracted. I know most people are going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work, because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that.
Most people have half their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna flinch. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna save money. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission at hand. No one's with me, because I don't allow them to. It's gotta be that way. It's gotta be unconditionally focused.
I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to be distracted.
And every day you try to master it, to be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself. Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy energy is gonna go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You have every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room.
And I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. When they did it for all those thousands of hours in the lab with no one watching. So when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in self-control state, and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy.
You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers.
Use everything this world has to give you for fuel.
So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk, 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 talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting up, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% later. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great. When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up. You tell someone about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you a reward. Somebody's gotta prod you. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you said you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dreamed to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dome. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort.
You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
What do you do when you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything, life been devastated, and you losing every day? Life whipping your butt every day. Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself. Out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
This is where most of you break. At test day, when you just lost your best customer. When you're fighting with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. When you just got betrayed by a good friend. When you feel like the sun don't come up and you just want to shelter down. That day, you give twice as much. If I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I stayed up all night, let's say my kids are sick, and I say I'm going to go to the gym at 5, I go to the gym at 5. You know why? I'm not going to break on a test day.
Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. You grab your enemy by the throat and you keep fighting. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter what.
Test days are not something to be dreaded. Test days are only to be dreaded by people who can't pass the test. And all of you have the ability to pass the test.
It is on those days that determine how your life builds.
You wake up today, got a headache? Suck it up. You wake up this morning, don't feel like going to the gym? Most people don't. Go anyways. You wake up this morning, don't feel like talking to somebody? You need to talk to somebody as fast as possible. Test days are what make you a savage.
You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it.
Those that can kill test days and stay about it all day long are those that annihilate the rest. I want you to make a commitment today that from this point forward, you're gonna become the most savage that ever lived. You're gonna be smarter, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna give it all you got.
We live as prisoners in our minds. We're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize a lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get strong. When everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what you're gonna do is only one option. Stay hard.
You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack, I'm a warrior. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many trials and tribulations, you know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. Oh, I feel depressed. I'm going through it. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. You are so focused on what you can't control that you're not putting your energy, your spirit, your ethos, your trust on what you can control. What you can control is putting your gym shoes on and going for a run. What you can control is what time you go to bed. What you can control is what time you wake up. What you can control is what you watch on TV. What you can control is how you use your schedule. What you can control, you can control. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused. You think the lion look the way it does because of what he eat? You think that physique is that because of what he eat? It's not. It's the hunt that make it look like that. It's the hunt. Because every time it get up and it go out, it's got to run. Every time it go out, it's got to jump on my man and boom, bring my man to the ground. But I promise you, whatever they catch, it ain't just letting them eat it. It's a fight going on, and every time it fight, it gets stronger. Every time it fight, it get more ferocious. Every time it fight, it becomes more of what it is.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it. So you be that always gets it done.
Every step you take, you get that much stronger.
The greatest of all time, if you were to peel back who they are on the outside and look deep within their soul, you're going to find a savage warrior. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes weren't on the court at 4 a.m. in the morning doing chest passes and free throws because they wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the fans. No, they wanted to go out and slit throats every single day of their lives in their careers. And when people tell you you can't, people tell you you won't, people tell you your dreams are too big, you're never going to accomplish them, when are you going to grow up and get realistic? When your girlfriends leave you, your boyfriends abandon you, when all that happens, we got to know what to do with this energy, otherwise it sucks. It paralyzes us. It makes us ineffective. So we take all the negative, we take all the frustration, we take all the things, and we don't lash back out. We take it and we put it up on our shoulder as a big giant ship. And every single time that we feel like not doing what we should do, every single time we feel like quitting, every single time we feel like throwing in the towel, we go up here and we list down the things that people have said to us. We list down the things that people have done to us, and we find the energy to go take productive action.
You can't quit now. I don't care if you don't have the money, and you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. You cannot quit. You might have to make adjustments. You might have to find another way. You might have to learn new things. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but you cannot quit.
If I was gonna quit, I would have quit a long time ago. I've come too far for that now. I will not be defeated. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through, no matter the price.
You could get through this, because you bigger than this, you better than this, you tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be bolder.
A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
Somebody told you it was over. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. Never give up. You don't give up on me. You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. When you come up against that thing, I'll do that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it, so don't you ever give up.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out.
You're gonna make it. In fact, you're gonna be better.
When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off, and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. When you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested.
When people die, or people get sick, or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you.
And no matter what you've walked through, no matter how broken your life is right now, no matter how many times you failed, there's a power within you that's stronger than whatever's going on around you.
So I'm not retreating, I'm not running, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna win.
I got here not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the fastest, not because I'm the best, but I kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. You are not gonna stop me. I got too far. I've come too far to give up now.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials and tribulations, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
You want affirmation? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. Do whatever it takes. You your biggest driver.
I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things. But what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you.
Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is mentality. You're not gonna outwork me, so I'm gonna catch up somewhere.
If you are not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
I'm always gonna give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days.
From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream comes when you push. Ain't nobody gonna give you no cookies and ice cream. Push. It's alive. It's inside. How do you know you feel it? You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So push. Just push past the pain. Push. Don't quit. Push. And you push your way to success. You have a chance to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level. You get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part, because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness.
It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking.
The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline, because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline, you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future. There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher every time you push through. You build strength, not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will. You create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock. And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity.
You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human. Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. You gotta move you every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think. And you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You got to discipline yourself, and you got to learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. You're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do.
Several people live to be 100 years old and they have great lives. But somewhere in their life, they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route, but the better life was going to the right side.
Because many of us are cuffed to convenience. Comfort and convenience is killing your calling. Your plan will not be convenient.
If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. If you think ordinary's cool, just go on about your business. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. All of you have extraordinary capabilities, all of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace.
If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Most people that I'm with, they don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average because to be great, you got to keep up. I'm shocked more people are on beast mode. There are people who living from check to check and they comfortable. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, boo, you broke. Some of you broke and you still entertained. You ain't got no money and you sitting here complaining about, but then you watching all the TV programs. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. No, we working out now. I want you to ask yourself, why aren't you putting more effort forward? Why aren't you getting A's in math? You can. Why aren't you getting A's in English? You can.
You got to look at that man or that woman in the mirror and say, hey, get serious. You've been seriously not serious. You've been wasting valuable time. Get serious. Take control of yourself. You don't have the luxury of being reckless or procrastinating or putting things off. Come on, you got work to do.
Unless you number one in your industry, you shouldn't be chilling. And if you number one in your industry, you got enough common sense to know you better not be chilling. So I need that dog.
Every time something good happens to me, I don't get satisfied. I get hungry. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dog. I got that dog. I got that grind. And whatever I put my mind to, I can do.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
Most people want it easy. Easy come, easy go. See, but when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required.
You're going to have to suffer, man. To grow, you must suffer. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. And I will succeed.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
Everybody's living off the hope factor. They hope the water was never cold. They hope the weather was good. I don't live off that hope. I wish the water was cold. I wish it rained.
Whenever anything is challenging, whenever anything sucks, good. I like it. It's going to give me a good story to tell. It's going to toughen my mind, and it's going to make us stronger.
It's your trial. It's your tribulation that's going to get you out your comfort zone. It's your trial. It's your tribulation that's going to take you to the next level.
When the end is unknown and the distance is unknown, that's when you know who you are.
When you're working out and you want to die, feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat, because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the other end where you're relaxing. Boy, I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life.
I turn around in exhaustion, salute my former self that was right there. Proud of it. Yeah, I'm tired. I gave it his all to ensure that right now I got the most out of it.
I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but I'm not going to complain because I asked for this. So I'm going to smile with tired eyes and realize that everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.
To every person in this room who's had a struggle, who's had some pains, who's had some tests, who's got some creative ideas, but you've gone through some really tough stuff.
Whatever you do, don't lose your head. Pull your feelings out of it. Your emotions, your negative thoughts, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities.
Do not allow these things to control the trajectory of your life.
If you are going to birth your dream, your calling,
your passion, you can't draw back when life gets tough. You've got to stand up to it and push.
Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The stuff you've been through, don't pay it any attention.
If you start something, you're gonna finish it. Make a way. Figure it out, adjust, pivot, have a certain level of mental agility, and get it done. Keep going. Press on. This too shall pass. There's nothing that we come up against that's stronger than anything that we possess internally.
The world is not giving you what you deserve because you don't think you deserve it. And you need to change your mindset. Why are you timid? Why are you passive? Why are you afraid?
There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. You don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people. They sense that you don't believe it. They feel it. You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6, when you don't have to. And if you change your mindset, mindset is important because we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. You better change the way you think. All you need to do is change your thinking and you change your world. You don't need to change anything else. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. Average people talk normal. Average people talk problem. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. But I used to be average. And while I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talked like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you, but you can go to the library and get yourself. You can start reading books. You can go back to school. You can start coming to conferences.
There's something that you could do that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody because we got you. You are the one.
I haven't had my best idea yet. I haven't had my most creative moment yet. I haven't produced my dream yet. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There's something down inside of you that's still kicking inside of you that wants to get out and it wants to live.
I want you to leave this room and embrace challenges. Stop quitting and giving up.
If it's hard, keep on coming back again. If folk oppose you, come on back again. Run out of money? Come back again. Keep working on yourself. Keep talking to yourself. Many start, but few finish. Few people finish because they say, well, it was hard, and they stop. They take that as a stop sign as opposed to a growth sign. They look at that as something to block them as opposed to an opportunity for them to grow, to become more creative.
All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. If you think it's gonna be easy, if you think you just gonna get that business started without any trials or forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's going to take its place? Success. And so you got to change your mindset. We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative. No pain, no gain. Confidence makes you run toward the fight. When you don't have confidence, it makes you run away. So it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter the degrees you have. It doesn't matter how much money. It doesn't matter. Without confidence, there are certain things in this earthly realm you can't pull off. When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many against. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
As you're going through your go-through, you ready to quit, you ready to give up, you ready to give in, because it don't look like you think it should look. And I'm telling you right now, because I care about you. I'm telling you right now, because I've been there, I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh,
You put too much in it to quit now? It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were gonna get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Most people retreat during the pain, are broken by the pain. But gladiators approach the pain, embrace the pain, and dominate the pain. The question is, are you a gladiator? I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can outlast that discomfort, I guarantee you, baby, on the other side of it is success.